Hello, beautiful Patriots! Kerry here, flying solo today. This is just going to be a quick episode about mail-in voting. Before we get started, I hope everyone is staying healthy and safe out there as energies get more and more intense the closer we get to election 2020. I just want to remind everyone that we have a huge Patriot family. We are all in this together. I know things are getting really crazy and YouTube accounts are getting shut down left and right, and it's been very startling and almost surreal to see all of our favorite YouTube channels that are now gone, including Jordan Sather, and we know Praying Medic, Dustin Nemos, In the Matrix, X22. Oh gosh, there's so many. There's even more than I've said just now. I mean, way more. Yeah, it's crazy that they are no longer there. However, they've been telling us, so we know we can find most of them on BitChute. We can go to Parler. There's some other places that I can't really think of at the moment. We've been prepared for this, so no panicking, guys. Everything's cool. We are going to be just fine. The election is going to be just fine. We have no way of knowing exactly what's going to happen. Things could get a little bit crazy, so just a reminder to be prepared. This is called preparation, not panic. That means right now, while everything is still available, make sure that you are stocked up on food, water, have a water purification system, have a solar flashlight, have a solar cooker, just some ideas. And if you can't get those things, at least make sure you have water, a supply of water and some canned food and some matches, and you'll be fine. So as you know, we have repeatedly been told by the left that there is no such thing as mail-in voting fraud and that it is an impeccable system that could not possibly be flawed in any way. There is no room for error with mail-in voting. That's what we're being told anyway. We're also being told that President Trump is basically spinning this narrative because he is afraid that he's going to lose the election, and it's giving him cause to not concede to Joe Biden when that happens. Now, we know that to be complete and utter BS, and we also know that the reason President Trump keeps bringing up examples of voter fraud or ballots being thrown away, ballot harvesting, is because it's actually happening. We have several documented cases of ballots being thrown out, ballots being harvested, ballots being sent out to deceased people, people who have moved, people who are not citizens of the United States and therefore are not allowed to vote in our election. The amount of cases is startling. So the fact that they can continue to spin this narrative that President Trump is making this up just shows the level of their desperation. Like everything else they're doing, they're desperately clinging to the hope that they can illegally take this election. We know it's not going to happen, but I wanted to make this video just to give you some examples that you can go and tell your family and friends about if they happen to believe the story that President Trump is making all of this up. So I'm just going to show you a few of the examples out of the probably hundreds that there are, and just write these down, have them ready so that you can present these actual cases to people when they tell you that there's no such thing as voter fraud or mail-in voting error. So here you go. All of the articles I'm going to be referencing are from the Epoch Times, which is one of the only news outlets that is accurately reporting anything these days. So this one is actually titled, "Supreme Court May Have to Check Ballots, Trump." Now, the part that I want to focus on is here where it says, Biden signals trust in mail-in ballots. Biden contended that over the years with mail-in voting, there has not been fraud. He also said that FBI Director Christopher Wray said there is no evidence at all that mail-in ballots are a source of being manipulated and cheating. Wray had told the House Homeland Security Committee on September 24th, we have not seen historically any kind of coordinated national voter fraud effort in a major election, whether it's by mail or otherwise. We have seen voter fraud at the local level from time to time. Now, Trump alleges potential for fraud. Okay, so he first talks about the difference between universal mail-in voting and absentee voting. Okay, so for an absentee ballot, it's basically one that you request. Okay, and that is how Trump voted. You ask for a ballot, they send it to you, you send it back. Now, universal mail-in voting is a completely different story. This is what Trump calls unsolicited ballots. They're basically sending millions of ballots all over the country. Obviously, there's a potential for fraud. Now, during the first presidential debate, President Trump pointed out multiple instances of irregularities and errors that have occurred in the early votes. Now, keep in mind, the left keeps telling us that errors are not a possibility. Okay, so here are 3 instances right here. The first one, Greenville, Outagamie County in Wisconsin, where police officers found 3 trays of absentee ballots and other mail lying in a ditch along the side of a highway. The second one, northeastern Pennsylvania, where 9 ballots were discarded, of which at least 7 were known to have been cast for Trump. And the third one, an instance in Virginia, where at least 1,400 voters received 2 mail-in ballots. How's that for a flawless system with no possibility of error, or fraud for that matter? Okay, so those are just 3 that had occurred by the time the first presidential debate took place. Let's look at a few more. This one is from October 10th. Ballots found in trash cans in California. Over a dozen ballots were found in trash cans in California this week, said the local man who discovered them. Osvaldo Jimenez, 43, found the ballots among other discarded mail in separate receptacles on Virginia Avenue in Santa Monica on October 8th. Jimenez was walking his dog in the afternoon when he opened a trash can on his street to deposit his dog's waste. The first thing that caught my eye was a big bulk of white envelopes and other miscellaneous mailings in the dumpster, Jimenez told the Epic Times. The article goes on to say, Jimenez that same day found another batch of discarded mail in a different receptacle, a recycling bin, after putting an Amazon box inside. That batch also contained ballots. 2 times in one day, and both are in a trash can. That's kind of fishy, Jimenez told the Epic Times. He says the officials appeared nonchalant about his findings and did not ask questions, nor did they take fingerprints. Someone interviewed him the following day. Basically, the postal inspector said it was an inside job. Yeah, and so Jimenez, after finding ballots 2 times in the same day, says, I'm really telling my family and friends just to go and vote in person, because if you send it by mail, who knows if your vote is going to be counted. Okay, so there's one more example. Let's look at another one. This one is not an example of fraud per se, but it definitely shows the type of errors that can occur with massive universal mail-in voting. County in Utah mails over 13,000 ballots without crucial component. This is from October 16th. More than 13,000 voters in Utah received ballots without a signature line, according to county officials. Mail-in ballots in the state must be signed by the voter to be counted. The ballots lacked an area for a signature. Tuesday morning is when the first voter called and said, "Where do I sign?" We had them open the flap and they told us it was blank. When the next 4,000 calls came in, we realized we had a problem. Yeah, I would say that's quite a problem, isn't it? Although, nobody's checking those signatures anyway, right guys? Nobody's checking the signatures to make sure that the person whose name is on the ballot is actually the one who signed. So, yeah. Okay, let's look at another one. This one is from October 9th, and it's titled, Ohio's Franklin County says nearly 50,000 voters got wrong absentee ballots. Officials in Ohio said that about 50,000 voters in Franklin County received incorrect absentee ballots in the mail. We can now confirm that 49,669 voters received an incorrect ballot. Those voters will be contacted directly by the Franklin County Board of Elections, and a replacement ballot will be mailed to them. In a news release on Friday, the board said it started the process of printing out new absentee ballots to replace the erroneous ones, and it will mail the replacements to every voter who got the wrong ballot. Those ballots will be sent via the U.S. Postal Service in the next 72 hours. Okay, talk about a cluster, guys. Seriously. All right, you'd think this was the last one, but nope. October 16th. More than 100 absentee ballots found among undelivered mail. Officials. Over 100 absentee ballots were found among undelivered mail in Kentucky, officials confirmed. A tipster alerted the USPS Office of Inspector General on Thursday, and special agents responded and recovered several different classes of mail, including 112 absentee ballots and 2 political advertisements. The ballots were not filled in because the mail had not been delivered. The mail was intended for delivery in Jeffersontown. USPS OIG officials already identified the employee responsible for discarding the mail. The person is no longer employed by the USPS. Well, that's comforting, right? Yeah, not really. This one is from October 14th. Pennsylvania's Allegheny, I hope I said that right, County says nearly 29,000 voters got incorrect ballots. Officials in Allegheny County, Pennsylvania say that a ballot mapping error resulted in almost 29,000 incorrect ballots being sent out. The county's elections division said on October 14th that Midwest Direct, the firm that was contracted to handle the printing, collating, and mailing of ballots, confirmed the error. It noted that the issues are being addressed and new correct ballots will be sent to the post office starting October 15th to October 17th. Most of the ballots are slated to be delivered to voters next week. For those who were sent incorrect ballots, they will be pulled and put aside, and the voters will automatically receive a new one. Did I mention what a cluster this is? Yeah. And the last one for today. This one is dated October 12th and titled, German journalist in D.C. says he received 3 ballots in the mail. One for a dead person. A German journalist living in Washington who isn't eligible to vote in the United States recently received 3 ballots for the November 3rd election in his mail. Stefan Niemann, who is a U.S. correspondent for ARD, the German state-funded broadcaster, posted on Twitter a picture of a mail-in ballot for the upcoming election. The chaos that President Donald Trump lamented with the delivery of mail voting papers is here. A translation of Niemann's October 10 tweet says, I am not allowed to vote here, but 3 ballots came to my Washington address for the previous tenant who moved 5 years ago, the landlady living in Puerto Rico, and her deceased husband. Okay, this is a person who is not eligible to vote, who luckily is honest enough to present this information and let us know that this happened. Now think about how many people who are not eligible to vote are also getting 3, 4, 5 ballots and they're using them. If this can happen in this case, you know it's happening all over the place. And all they have to do is fill out the ballot, sign the person's name whose name is on the ballot, and no one's gonna check it. This is not even a fraction of all the examples that I can find of either mail-in voting fraud or mail-in voting errors. Please encourage all of your family members to go in person and cast their vote. I can't stress enough how important this is, and I know that you all know, so I just wanted to give you some examples that you can share with your family and friends and, you know, let them know what's happening. This is not even scratching the surface of all the cases of mail-in voting problems that are going on right now. Okay guys, remember, if you want to help support me and Joel in our efforts to continue bringing you uncensored truth, one way you can do that is at Red Pill Living. They have some really amazing products over there. Check out this colloidal silver, guys. It's only $17.17. How awesome is that? Plus my favorite favorite, Carbon 60. I love, love, love me some Carbon 60. I use my Carbon 60 every single day, and I absolutely love it. This is another of my favorites, the Time Stop. The facial one is sold out right now, but you can get the other one, which I actually like better. And they've got lots of supplements, lots of very cool things, so definitely you can check that out. And right now you can get 15% off with coupon code Quiet Voice. And another way you can show your support is with our Gold Q collection over at Teespring, as well as our new We the Pepe collection. Thank you to everybody who has purchased something from one of our collections. We're so appreciative, and we hope you are loving what you purchased. Here's the Trump 2020 We the Pepe collection. I love this, and I can't wait to get my hoodie. Look at that fanny pack. Oh, you know how I love those fanny packs. Yeah, it's pretty cool. And if you're not feeling any of that, you can always support us with a small donation through PayPal or Venmo, and those links are also in the description. We really appreciate all of your support. Much love to everyone who has helped us out, and we love you so much, and I think that's gonna do it. Shout out to Guitarzan real quick. Go check out Guitarzan on YouTube, guys. This is an amazing, amazing band. Like I said earlier today, Guitarzan is the soundtrack for the Great Awakening. Alright guys, if you are enjoying our content, please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Until next time, Patriots, where we go one, we go all. Love you so much. Have a wonderful, wonderful rest of your day, and God bless.